Rick Smith, host of The Rick Smith Show. If you're looking for honest talk, real stories, and straight-up news that matters to you, tune in to The Rick Smith Show. We're digging into the issues that affect your job, your family, your future. Join me weeknights at 9 on the Civic Media Radio Network, because your voice deserves to be heard.
From the Civic Media World Headquarters in Madison, Wisconsin, it's the Todd Allbaugh Show. And now, pursuing truth wherever it may lead, here's your host, Todd Allbaugh.
It's Wisconsin on the Civic Media Radio Network and streaming worldwide on the Civic Media app. Good afternoon, everybody. Todd Allbaugh along with Mr. Aaron Zommers on the board. It is 6 minutes past the hour of 2 o'clock on a Friday TGIF edition. It is August 15th, 2025. It is a great day to be a Wisconsinite. Welcome in, everybody. World headquarters of Civic Media, downtown Madison on State Street. Blue skies overhead. Beautiful Friday afternoon. Aaron Zommers, how the heck are you?
Doing pretty well. You know, it's not bad outside.
It's beautiful. It's absolutely beautiful. Hope you're getting out there and enjoying it. Meteorologist Brittany Merlot, I was listening to her earlier on Matt and Aaron Air with Jane and Greg. And in all seriousness, folks, all across the state of Wisconsin, please keep it tuned to your best local weather source, because it's going to get stormy in some parts of Wisconsin this weekend. And unfortunately, Brittany is telling us via Jane's show that it could get serious in some cases, much like it did last weekend in the Milwaukee area. I know that the Waukesha area, there's still some storm warnings and watches out for later this afternoon into tonight. They may receive some rain. Chippewa Valley, that part of Wisconsin, the North Woods this time, may be under some heavy rains, and then over into the Fox Valley, and also southwest Wisconsin. So really, there's very few of any parts of Wisconsin that are going to be immune to this. And here's the wacky and dangerous part of this. You think, oh, it's just rain. But according to Brittany on Jane's show this morning, you're going to have it. We don't know exactly where. It's almost impossible to forecast where. But again, this system may well just stall out for a couple, 3 hours over a certain portion of Wisconsin, and they're going to get dumped on. And so it's not going to be safe at all. So go about your business. You know, it's not going to be all day necessarily type of thing. Probably the worst of it for most of Wisconsin, Waukesha accepted, is going to be tomorrow night into Sunday, then Sunday night into Monday. So just be aware of that. So just want to get that out there so you're not going around and saying, well, I didn't hear about this. I didn't know this was coming. It could get pretty stormy in parts of Wisconsin this weekend, but today it's beautiful.
Yeah, but it's always good to check the weather, especially right now.
Yeah, absolutely. Also, if you are in the WMDX listening area, or if you listen to us on other stations and you think, well, this would be a great weekend to go into Madison. Don't. All right, just don't, because it is the 15th of it is hippie
Christmas.
Hippie Christmas. Thank you, Zommers, because it is yesterday, today, and tomorrow. This is the time when many students at UW-Madison and the surrounding other places where people, Madison College, whatnot, they change apartments. Leases end, leases begin. You have students sleeping outside in between move-ins, move-outs, and the traffic downtown right now in Madison between moving vans and construction and everything else, it is a nightmare.
Yeah, it's not fun.
So especially if you have to, you know, if you're going to be the west side, east side, whatever, probably fine. But if you have to do any business or coming into the isthmus part of downtown Madison, either just put it off a week or leave yourself plenty of time, pack your patience, because parking is also at a premium right now in the ramps and other places. So just be aware of that.
Oh, yeah. And if you have a lot of the moving vehicles, there's signs at all the parking ramps like no oversized vehicles. So
Right.
expect people to not obey those signs and delay you even more.
It could get. It could. I'm going to hunker. I think Zombers this weekend. You have
I
any,
think
any,
I will
any
too.
big plans?
I think hunkering is the move because, yeah, I mean, even in the mornings right now, the last few days, I've been here. My drive has been 5 to 10 minutes longer than normal.
Yeah. Better news. Milwaukee Brewers on that 12-game win streak. Free burgers at George Webb next Wednesday, the 20th. Don't forget, if you're in the Milwaukee area, WAUK listening area, or heck, if you want to drive in, next Wednesday, August 20th, 2 until 6 p.m. All locations throughout Wisconsin going to have free burgers at George Webb. Vouchers available today.
So we're heading to George Webb to get vouchers.
Are
then
we?
we'll hunker.
Are we going to head?
I don't know. We
Head to
could.
George? I guess we could. We could head to George Webb. Brewers back in action after a day off yesterday. Even when the Brewers don't play, they win. Cubbies lost yesterday to Toronto 2-1. It was in the 8th or 9th inning. Chicago had runners at second and third with nobody out, and they couldn't bring them home. Toronto beat the Cubs yesterday 2-1. Brewers now 8 full games ahead of the Chicago Cubs in the National League Central. Brewers back in action tonight at Cincinnati against the Reds. The broadcast starts just after 5 o'clock at 5:05 this afternoon. First pitch will be thrown at around 5:35 local time. You can hear it over the air on terrestrial radio in Richland Center on WRCE Oshkosh, on WISS Racine Kenosha, on RJN, beautiful Park Falls on CQM, and the newest station for the Brewers, WBZH, Buzz of the North.
That is definitely someone else's jingle.
I just made that up. Wouldn't that be something if it was?
That's
Or maybe it should,
WPFF AccuWeather. That's what that sounded like.
it should be WBZH, the Buzz of the North.
Something like that. Yeah, yeah.
I'm just going to start doing my own jingles for WBZH up in Hayward. Beautiful. All right. Up in Hayward, Wisconsin. Beautiful, beautiful Hayward, Wisconsin, by the way. So anyway, be listening because very shortly now, we are going to give you a chance to win 4 tickets to the Milwaukee Brewers for a very special game. You cannot trade the ticket in for a different game, but you wouldn't want to anyway because the tickets that we have today that we're giving away are for Saturday, August 23rd against the San Francisco Giants at AmFam Field. The cool thing, it is Bob Uecker Umbrella Night, a golf-size umbrella, blue. I've seen it with kind of the Uecker logo and signature on it. So Bob Uecker Umbrella Night on August 23rd. We have 4 hot tickets. Well, I guess they're not hot because we didn't steal them. But we have 4 tickets for the red-hot Milwaukee Brewers. And we're going to be giving you a chance to text to win right after the break. That's the only way you can win is by downloading the Civic Media app on your Apple or Android device. Go to your app store, type in Civic, C-I-V-I-C, Media. It'll pop up. Takes less than a minute to download. It is free. It's what CBS's Gail King calls a deal. Things are getting hairy at CBS this morning. Well, not hairy, but I just read yesterday they're having to go back to their old studio because now with the Skydance merger, Paramount is kicking them out of the big fancy Times Square studio that used to be the MTV studios. And so now they get Tony DeCopel and Nate Burleson and Gail King and everybody. They got to go back down to West 57th Street, which I've been to that building. It's a cool building. It's an old historic building. But apparently they're going to share the set with the CBS Evening News guys. So
every time big corporate mergers like this happens, the new leadership has new ideas of how to do things, and they have to change things just to change things. Like that's how all that kind of stuff works.
I hope they go back to the table because when they revamped the show in 2012 with Charlie Rose and Nora O'Donnell and Gail King, everything happened around a table, and I like that. And then when they moved downtown to Times brought the couches and the plants and the cooking and all that in. So I don't know. We'll see. Anyway, Gail King calls the CBS Media app a deal, or at least we think she would if she knew about it. So we'll give you a chance to win the Brewer tickets via the Civic Media app. We'll give you the answer right after the break. Then in hour 2, hold your hats and hallelujahs Toddy's going to do it to you. That's a paraphrase from a line from Gypsy. Anyway, in hour number 2, what's worse? An NFL and college football edition. And timely indeed, Brady Ewing, 3-time Big Ten champion with Wisconsin Badgers and who spent 3 years in the NFL, will be our guest at 3:35. Normally he comes on in the first hour, changing it up a little bit. Going to be on in the second hour this week. If you're watching us on the stream on Facebook, YouTube, what used to be Twitter, X, Twix, whatever we want to call it, have the 1982 World Series pennant up behind me today, bringing some good vibes. How about that? Many thanks to our friend Chris Geezy, who was doing a little antiquing and picked that. I reimbursed him.
That's cool.
I reimbursed him, but yeah, it was. So yeah, we got a little World Series vibe going. Brewers, as we said, are red hot. We'll talk more about the Brewers in hour 2 with our very own Brady Ewing. But want to get to this today. What are you doing on your summer vacation? A lot of people trying to squeeze out that last weekend at the lake, maybe before Labor Day weekend. Maybe you're going camping this weekend, whatever it might be, just going antiquing. A lot of us still trying to get some summer in. Well, our elected officials in Washington, D.C. are also getting some summer travel in. We started talking about this yesterday, but I thought it deserved more time. This from our friends over at WisPolitics.com, talking about Wisconsin lawmakers in Congress. So we start off with good old Tony Weed. Tony Weed, spelled W-I-E-D, from De Pere, i.e. Green Bay. So Tony Weed, Congressman Tony Weed of the 8th Congressional District, he has decided to go over to Israel for a fact-finding mission. When I was in politics, we called those junkets.
He's taking after Derek Van Orden.
Right, yes. So Tony Weed's going to Israel. By contrast, and Tony Weed, of course, is a Republican. By contrast, Democratic United States Senator Tammy Baldwin is touring the state of Wisconsin to listen to voters. A bigger contrast there could not be. Says the Tony Weed, the De Pere Republicans office, told WisPolitics that Weed made the trip with other freshman Republicans and that there was no political activity. However, Weed posted a video last week by AIPAC, an Israeli-leaning PAC, last week, and said it was, quote, a blessing and an honor, unquote, to be in Israel. He said it was, quote, a really amazing experience here this week. And, touring throughout Israel and just really learning about the importance of the relationship and the partnership with the United States and Israel, unquote. Look, I have said in the past, I am a supporter of Israel, but I am not a supporter of Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu. I think the guy's gone way too far. And even Israelis do not, the vast majority, he does not even have the support of his own constituency in Israel. And there's a lot of money PAC interest going on here because the under talked about fact of Netanyahu is that if he loses power in Israel, if he's no longer prime minister, he faces a similar thing that, well, I guess not exactly the same, that Trump did and does. Because Netanyahu is under all kinds of indictment, would probably go to jail, but as long as he's prime minister, he doesn't have to. So it's not about real policy over in Israel. This is about Netanyahu staying out of jail. And now he's courting, Netanyahu is courting MAGA Republicans to come over to Israel to make sure that the narrative is what Netanyahu wants. And Tony Weed is buying in hook, line, and sinker. But if you think that Weed is the only person, Republican, going on a junket, you would be wrong. We'll tell you who else is going to have a pint in Europe. But Tammy Baldwin's having a pint in northern Wisconsin. The difference is stark. Come on back. It's the Allbaugh Show on the Civic Media Radio Network.
Madison, real news and great conversation. 92.7 WMDX.
Did we ever
This is
find
Chad
out
Spade.
what
Sometimes
Derek
I'm
Van Orden's
overwhelmed by
secret
the
mission to
hatred and
Israel was all about?
misinformation that consumes our world,
I don't
but
know.
I also
Yeah, I mean, it's
know
about
that
nothing.
build a
Yeah.
house
There's
of
nothing to
justice
find
and
out.
inclusion on a foundation of hatred and lies. We have to practice what we preach. At Chad's Design Build, we confront injustice the same way we confront a poorly built home, with love, compassion, intelligence, and persistence. We engage our community the way we engage our clients, with honesty and humility and the dogged determination that we can do better. Chad's Design Build.
Yeah, Jim, as far as I
remodeling done well
know,
with love.
I think
Yeah, it's
once
actually
you,
bad.
yeah. So if you win the tickets, you can gift them to a family member or something like that. We just can't exchange it for a different.
Right, but yeah, once you have the tickets in the MLB app, you can swap them around.
The state is now trying to fix the problem.
The ballpark
North
app,
Carolina
I believe
Board
it
of
is called.
Elections
Yes, I
realized
believe you are
in
correct.
2023 that unclear instructions on a voter registration form allowed as many as 200,000 voters to register without providing a driver's license number or the last 4 digits of their social security number. The plan at the time was to collect missing information during future elections. After a close 2024
Mark, you're
state
welcome if you're
Supreme
watching
Court
on
election,
Facebook. Wasn't that a great
losing
clip?
GOP candidate
That was
Judge
fun
Jefferson
to,
Griffin challenged the validity
what was it,
of
last week, I think, we
65,000
used a
voters,
clip from
ultimately
Fred
losing
Rogers
in federal court. June
testifying in
24th, the Board
Congress
of Elections announced
of
plans
why
to
they should
collect
fund
missing
the Corporation for
information
Public Broadcasting. And he was
103,000
successful, by the
voters
way,
who will
back in
receive
the
forms to return by
either the
mail
50s or
when
the
they provide that
60s, I
information
believe.
in person at an
'Cause he was
election
right.
office,
He was
or
right.
can submit
And he was
it
able to lay it out
electronically
in a way that was compelling.
Yeah.
ncsbe.gov/registration repair. While those voters won't be purged, they must use provisional ballots until that information is received. Provisional ballots don't count unless the voter returns with the necessary documents. Another 100,000 voters whose information is not on file but had previously been proven will be solicited for information in the future. We have more on
30
how to
seconds.
submit the missing
Gracias.
information at AmericanDemocracyMinute.org. I'm Brian Beal.
Pursuing truth wherever it may lead and having fun doing it. Welcome back to the Todd Allbaugh Show on the Civic Media Radio Network. 22 now, past the hour of 2 o'clock on Friday, August 15th. Coming up in hour 2, Brady Ewing, 3-time Big Ten champion with Wisconsin Badger football team and 3 years in the NFL. 2 weeks from last night. Can you believe it? That's when the Badgers kick off the football season at home in Camp Randall. You can hear it on many of these fine stations on the Civic Media Radio Network, on the Badger Radio Network. Going to talk with Brady Ewing about getting down there now inside 2 weeks before the first kickoff for the Badger football team. Also, former, I believe he was a running backs coach. Brady will refresh us. Coach Hammock, who is now the head coach at Northern Illinois University. Great video. We're going to play it. It's only a couple minutes long. While Brady's with us, talking about leadership, talking about what's really important in college and college athletics. Hear from Coach Hammock in hour 2, and also Brady's take as a guy who I believe he was under Coach Hammock's tutelage at the University of Wisconsin. And, of course, high school football. High school fall sports season is getting ready to be underway. Many of our stations across the network covering high school sports. Brady helping out still, I believe, with Richland Center High School football. So we'll talk a little high school sports as well. All that and more coming up in hour 2 and a NFL and college football edition of What's Worse. But right now it's 24 past the hour of 2 o'clock. Time once again for Free Ticket Friday Trivia Giveaway. Here we go.
Then I saw her face. Now I'm a believer. Not a trace of doubt in my mind. I'm in love. I'm a believer. I couldn't leave her if I tried.
You better be a believer. 12 wins in a row. Time for Free Ticket Friday giveaway. Your chance to win 4 tickets to the white-hot Milwaukee Brewers on a 12-game win streak. Free George Webb hamburgers already secured. They go for the franchise record 13 to tie it with the 1987 club. The Brewers will try to tie that 13-game win streak tonight in Cincinnati. Broadcast starts at 5:05 this afternoon. First pitch around 5:35 on many of these great stations. But here's the deal. We're going to give you a word right now. You're going to download, if you don't have it, the Civic Media app. It's free. Takes less than a minute. Open it up. The first 10 stations are the ones that this program plays on. Click the one closest to you, or any of them will do. Then the lower right-hand corner, it'll say text, little bubble icon, text. You click on that. And now I'm going to give you a word, and you text the following word right now to Civic Media to be eligible. The word this show is throw. The word is throw. T as in Todd, H as in Henry, R-O-W. Throw. As in throw the ball. Throw. T-H-R-O-W. Throw. Make sure you spell it correctly, because the computer will only recognize correct entries.
And again, this is for the Saturday, August 23rd game at 6:10 p.m.
Yes. So you have, and that's the caveat. You have to be able to go to the August 23rd game in order to, because you can't win and say, oh, I can't make that game. We can't exchange it. And this is a really special game, folks, because it is the Bob Uecker Umbrella Night giveaway night. So on Sunday is the Uecker tribute game. But the night before is going to be pretty cool as well, because it's the Bob Uecker umbrella. First, I believe 20,000 people.
25,000, but yeah.
Thank you. 25,000 into the stadium are going to receive a free. These are nice ones too. The great big ones, the golf umbrellas for Bob Uecker umbrella night. So this is for the August 23rd game, a Saturday against the Giants. 4 tickets to the club level. You could be eligible by going to the Civic Media app and simply texting the word throw. T as in Todd, H as in Henry, R-O-W. Throw. Text the word throw right now to the Civic Media app. At the end of the hour, at the end of 4 o'clock hour, the computer will randomly select somebody who typed in the correct entry word of throw, T-H-R-O-W, and that lucky person will have 4 tickets to the club level site. These are great seats, cushioned on the third base line, looking right at the beautiful LED 4K scoreboard. You can see right into the Brewers dugout, see the guys talking, horsing around. Great view of Sal Frelick, if you're a Sal Frelick fan. And Pat Murphy, anybody, yeah. Anyway, there are great seats. You have the air-conditioned concourse right behind you in case you overheat. You got bathrooms that are only for that part of the stadium, concessions just for that part of the stadium, the Sky, whatever they call it, lounge out there as well. They're really cool.
Nice. You know what's even nicer, though? This contest
is statewide. Yes, it's a statewide contest. And these are not cheap seats. I mean, I looked it up. I thought, well, how much are these? They're $66 a pop.
Really?
On the market. If you try to, and really right now it's getting harder and harder to find a ticket, period.
Yeah, probably have to buy them from scalpers for a lot more than that.
So this is a great value. No obligation. Don't have to buy anything. Just go to the Civic Media app. Download it. It's free. Go to the first 10 stations, one of them. Open it up where it says text. Click on that. And then text the word throw, T-H-R-O-W, throw. Text the word throw right now, and somebody at the end of this show is going to have 4 tickets to the August 23rd game against the Giants on Uecker Umbrella Night. Want to come back? We did a lot there on the Brewers stuff. It's important right now. But want to come back, we're going to tell you more about elected officials. Republicans going every place during their recess except Wisconsin. Tammy Baldwin taking a tour of Wisconsin. Come on back. Take your phone calls as well. 855-752-4842. 855-752-4842. It's the Allbaugh Show for Friday on the Civic Media Radio Network.
choice. Madison's real news and great conversation. 92.7 WMDX. Local news, weather, and sports on air and streaming on the Civic Media app. This is the Civic Media Radio Network.
You've seen it on the news. Canada's wildfires raging, but one story that's not being shared, how farmers are being impacted there. I'm Pam Yonke with a quick update on what's happening in food and farming news on a Friday. During our recent Canadian farm tour, we talked to Bob Wilson, owner and operator of Morningstar Bison on Vancouver Island in the community of Nanaimo. He's got 50 head of bison that he is working very hard to try to market. But like anything, when you're farming on an island, getting your inputs and marketing your produce is more complicated. Wilson says right now he's trying to find markets for these animals.
So most of my meat stays on the South Island here, but I do send meat all around BC. Now recently I just sent 25 head to Alberta where they're going to be finished with some grain.
Okay.
Yeah, and those animals were actually purchased by a company in Montreal. And so the meat
Maybe
will
next
end
time
up
for
in
Free Ticket
Montreal,
Friday, we should use
where it
All
will be
Summer Long by
distributed
Kid
down
Rock.
into New
No,
York
no,
and also
I know.
into Europe.
I shouldn't even joke about
And that's
that.
that company's particular market for that. And so that gives me a big bulk sale. So most of my meat stays on the South Island here, but I do send meat all around BC. Now recently I just sent 25 head to Alberta where they're going to be finished with some grain.
Okay.
Yeah, and those animals were actually purchased by a company in Montreal. And so the meat will end up in Montreal where it will be distributed down into New York and also into Europe. And that's that company's particular market for that. And so that gives me a big bulk sale.
Bob Wilson, owner and operator of Morningstar Bison Ranch on Vancouver Island in the community of Nanaimo. If you want to hear more about Bob and how he's managing his bison, hop on over to our playlist, MidwestFarmReport.com.
Don't let sick calves get you down and drain your profits. Get your calves up and moving with BioVet's Calf Electrolyte. Our Baselight product contains balanced electrolytes for restoring and maintaining proper fluid levels and scouring calves. Baselight also provides additional energy to support recovery. It's easy to mix, and calves are easy to drink it down to the last drop. Learn more about Baselight at bio-vet.com.
Innovation, that's BioVet.
What is the Dairyland seed difference? The answer is found in our difference makers. Our seeds are developed and delivered for unrivaled performance in and only in the upper Midwest. Our local dealers, expert agronomists, and everyone throughout our organization who live to make life better on farms and in the community. It's our people, products, and pedigree that combine to make a true difference that you can see on the bottom line and feel in your heart. Learn more about our difference makers at dairylandseeddifference.com.
And for the 31st year in a row, Wisconsin's projected to be the #1 cranberry grower in the nation. I'm Pam Yonke.
As Wisconsin is summer weekends being spent on the lake, this is the Civic Media Radio Network.
Sunny, hot, and humid today, with high temperatures soaring to the upper 80s, and paired with the mugginess, it'll really be feeling more like the mid-90s. And tonight, showers and thunderstorms. Heavy rainfall is possible this weekend, with rounds of thunderstorms expected. I'm meteorologist Brittany Merlot. It's 84 degrees at our studios.
Hey, Gordy, did you know Dane County Humane Society is calling on our community to help find new homes for every available animal as part of the nationwide Clear the Shelters adoption campaign running through August?
I did, John. I also heard to encourage adoptions, Dane County Humane Society will offer reduced adoption fees for a different animal group each week, leading up to a special adoption finale event on Saturday, August 23rd.
Well, that's great. Animal shelters across the country, including here in Dane County, are facing unprecedented challenges with slower adoptions, high intake of strays and surrendered pets, and limited resources. Shelters are working harder than ever to care for these animals.
DCHS is proud to serve thousands of
30
animals
seconds.
each year, not just through adoption, but also by reuniting lost pets with their families.
hour of 2 o'clock on August 15th, the Friday, TGIF. We made it, everybody. Made it to the weekend. Great day today. Sunny skies here at the world headquarters of downtown Madison. But keep an eye to the sky. Brittany Merlot, our meteorologist, saying that many places across the state this weekend could see the same thing, unfortunately, that happened last weekend in Milwaukee, where you get these big rains and then they stall out unexpectedly and just dump torrential downpours that could have some really severe flooding. Worst of it's going to be probably Saturday night into Sunday and then Sunday night into Monday. But just keep an eye to the sky. Stay tuned to local weather wherever you're going to be this weekend in the state of Wisconsin. Talking about vacations where, because a lot of us are still trying to get a little time in, especially on the weekend before Labor Day weekend. A lot of our congressional delegation taking vacations. By the way, before we get back into the news here, our free Ticket Friday giveaway. Brewers tickets, 4 of them, up for grabs. This is for a specific game next Saturday night, August 23rd, against the San Francisco Giants. It is also Bob Uecker Umbrella Night. It's the night they're going to give away the big golf umbrellas to the first 25,000 fans into AmFam Field. You can go on us simply by entering. Go to the Civic Media app and text the word THROW. T as in Todd, H as in Henry, ROW. Text the word THROW right now. At the 4 o'clock mark, somebody's going to be selected from the correct entries, and you'll receive 4 tickets to that August 23rd game in club level seats. Throw is the word this hour to text us for the Brewer tickets. So we're right in the middle of trying to get in the last of holiday breaks. And according to our friends at WisPolitics, great site, wispolitics.com, Tony Weed, Congressman Tony Weed of the 8th Congressional District, has decided to take a junket to Israel, paid for by other interests, pro-Israeli interests. And again, I'm a supporter of Israel, but not a supporter of Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu. And in my opinion, there's a lot of, hey, come on over for a little vacation so we can tell you what's quote-unquote really happening. And I think this is a move to try to solidify MAGA in Congress behind Netanyahu. Not the Israeli people, but Netanyahu, because if he's not prime minister, he's most likely going to jail on all of the charges that have been brought against him in Israel. So that's Tony Weed. Meanwhile, according to WisPolitics, U.S. Representative Scott Fitzgerald, Republican of Juneau, joined the Judiciary Committee on a bipartisan trip to Brussels, London, and Dublin to discuss censorship and free speech issues with European Union and UK officials. We talked about this a little bit with Trigny Olson, our friend from the Lincoln Project, on Wednesday, who has fought autocracy around the world. And it's so weird and quite frankly sad now. It used to be people in European and other places coming to the United States to discuss free speech issues and censorship. And now it's people in the United States going to other countries in the UK or in the EU. And we're just as bad as anybody else now under a second Trump administration. Meanwhile, U.S. Senator Tammy Baldwin, Democrat of Madison, is using the break to go on a statewide Fighting for Wisconsin Families tour to hear from Wisconsinites about the impact of Trump's administrative policies. Senator Baldwin kicked off the tour last week with stops in Milwaukee, Brown, Door, Lincoln, Sawyer, and Ashland counties. That included a meeting with small business owners in Milwaukee on Trump's trade policies and a tour of a Door County medical center to hear about the impact of Medicaid cuts on rural health care. How about that? Juxtapose Congressman Weed going to Israel, Congressman Fitzgerald going on a junket to Brussels, London, Dublin, have a pint. He's very proud. He's nothing wrong being Irish, by the way. I have a little Irish in me. Anyway, nothing wrong with that. But most of these things are junkets paid for by big interests. And it's just like what Sommer and I were talking about this the other day. That the leaving your district is not just a partisan issue here. Because in Wisconsin, it seems to be. But out in Washington, D.C., city, and by the way, Trump cracking down overnight, basically taking complete control of the local police force away from the mayor and the local police chief of Washington, D.C., putting it under federal control. Pam the Bondi girl is back at it. She's basically the top cop now in the city of Washington, D.C. And by the way, now I'm not making this up. Some guy at Department of Justice was so ticked off that he threw a Subway sandwich at one of the federal law enforcement officials out of frustration. I've seen the video.
Yeah, and is now being charged with a felony.
And now, Pam Bondi and the Bondi girls are coming at him with a felony over a Subway sandwich. I mean, you can't make this stuff up.
Careful with your sandwiches, folks.
Yeah.
You just might end up in the break.
It's ridiculous. And so while all this is happening, the mayor of Washington, D.C., a Democrat, she announced that she had to go to a pressing family matter on Martha's Vineyard. Now, unless there was a death in the family, and this for a funeral or something like that, there's no excuse. Why is the mayor of D.C. abandoning her city when it is literally under attack from Trump forces for a Tony junket to Martha's Vineyard? The optics are ridiculously bad. Same thing with Los Angeles Mayor Karen Bass. She decided to take a powder and go to Africa on a safari while Los Angeles was burning. So, I mean, stupidity does not know political boundaries, partisan boundaries. So I don't care whether it's the mayor of Los Angeles or the mayor of D.C. leaving their places in times of need. And people say, well, everybody deserves to have a life. Everybody should have a vacation. No. When you sign up and put yourself on the ballot and get elected as an elected official, I'm sorry, you lose the right to have a personal life like that. I can't tell you how many times my former bosses put off personal family trips or things they wanted to do for fun because the moment things happened in their district, whether it was a tornado or a flood, whatever it was, they had to be there, work with local elected officials, help them get things done.
That's your job.
So,
it's just like when you're a parent. If your kid is hurt, you got to abandon what you're doing to take care of it.
Right.
But if you choose to be the mayor of a city, you're responsible for its emergencies.
You would think. Back closer to home again, Tammy Baldwin taking her time during the. And by the way, you're wondering, well, what? So August is a time when Congress is out of session. So traditionally, lawmakers go back to their districts or their state, and they spend time listening to their constituents, touring, having a handle on things. Tammy Baldwin doing that, spending her time in Wisconsin, all over Wisconsin, Milwaukee to Ashland, Door County, Lincoln, Sawyer County, Brown, Green Bay. Other events, according to WisPolitics, from lawmakers during the August recess include, and I'll give him credit, Republican U.S. Representative Brian Stile, Republican of Janesville, drew a raucous crowd at a town hall meeting going on into the recess. He also held a telephone town hall last week. So at least he's doing something. And by the way, before I forget, and again, I whether it's for political reasons or not, quite frankly, in this moment, I don't care. This from U.S. Senator Tammy Baldwin. Headline, Baldwin more Stile call for Trump administration to provide immediate federal support for flood damage in southeastern Wisconsin. The release from Baldwin's office says today U.S. Senator Tammy Baldwin, Democrat of Wisconsin, and Representatives Gwen Moore, Democrat of Wisconsin's 4th District, and Brian Stile, Republican from Wisconsin's 1st, called on the Trump administration and the Federal Emergency Management Agency, better known as FEMA, to support Wisconsin's request to assist the state in conducting a formal federal preliminary damage assessment as communities across southern Wisconsin recover from catastrophic flooding caused by recent extreme storms. This damage assessment is an important step to unlocking federal disaster aid, and it goes on. And again, look, maybe style because he got a legitimate opponent here announced recently against him. Maybe that's part of it. But quite frankly, again, in this moment, I don't care what his motivation was. I'm willing to give Brian Style credit for stepping across partisan lines and say, I'm going to join Democrats, U.S. Senator Baldwin, Democrat, U.S. Representative Moore, for fighting for our part of the state to get the Trump administration to get their butts in gear and get to Wisconsin and declare a federal disaster area to open up FEMA funds for Wisconsinites, Republicans, Democrats, Independents. I don't care. We are all Wisconsinites in this moment in southeast Wisconsin. And it's appalling to me that the rest of the Republican delegation to Wisconsin didn't sign on to this. And I don't know if Democrat Mark Pocan was asked to or not, but I don't understand why his name's not on this. And you can say, well, because Baldwin covers the whole state, Moore and Style cover that part of Wisconsin. I mean, where's Ron Johnson? He covers the whole state. This is a time where we have to set partisanship aside and do the right thing for the state of Wisconsin. So good on Style, good on Baldwin, good on Moore for working together to try to get federal disaster relief to southeast Wisconsin. Meanwhile, according to the WisPolitics story, U.S. Representative Derek Van Orden, Republican of Prairie du Chien, held a business roundtable at Altman Construction in Wisconsin Rapids, an invitation-only event. In my opinion, as someone who used to help set up town halls and constituent meetings, it doesn't really count if it's by invite only. Because all you're doing is just putting people in a room that are going to tell you what you want to hear. My former boss, Dale Schultz, during Act 10, 700 people, open town hall meeting in the Dodgeville High School gymnasium. He and I were one of the first ones there, and the three people that closed the gym doors and turned off the lights was me, Dale, and the custodian at Dodgeville High School at about 11:30 at night. That's a town hall. The office of U.S. Representative Glenn Grothman said the Glenn Beulah Republican will attend a ceremony today to rename the Kiel Post Office in honor of the late Wisconsin State Trooper Trevor Casper, who was killed in the line of duty in 2015. Grothman introduced the bill to rename the post office in Casper's honor. Good for him. You can say a lot about Glenn, but in this case, he's doing the right thing by honoring and going there personally. He doesn't mind going out in public. And again, whatever you think about Glenn Grothman, he'll at least show up and talk to people. That's worth something in my book. Come on back. Talk a little bit more about summer vacations of politicians after this. It's the Allbaugh Show on the Civic Media Radio Network.
Wisconsin is cheering on Bucky Badger. This is the Civic Media Radio Network.
There's nothing quite like the perfect bra fit. And at Allure Intimate Apparel, that's exactly what their expert bra fitting specialists deliver. One-on-one fittings are tailored to your unique shape in a graceful, no-pressure environment. From everyday comfort to special occasion elegance, Allure makes sure your bra fit feels as good as it looks. Experience a new standard of personal attention, coming soon to the Hilldale Shopping Center. Visit allurefits.com.
You're still glowing, flirting, grooving. You still got
one
it.
of those.
But your immune system weakens as you
And
age,
Allure.
making it harder to fight flu, pneumococcal
I don't know.
pneumonia,
Just an
RSV,
ad?
and COVID-19.
A jockstrap?
Vaccines are a key part
I
of
don't
any
know
health routine and help strengthen your
if they
immune
provide
response.
that.
Ask your doctor or
But
pharmacist
when
which
they open in
vaccines
Hilldale,
need.
you can go find out.
Schedule in
Go find
minutes
out.
at vaxassist.com. Sponsored by Pfizer.
The Cap Times Idea Fest is back with
Cam
important
says, I don't have
local
my
and
glasses
national
on, so when the
topics
ad was
September
talking about the
8th through the
profiting
13th
experience, it
in
looked like Todd was
Madison.
sobbing.
This year's guest speakers include Minnesota Governor
I
Tim
was
Walz,
not gonna
former
be
Georgia
sobbing.
lawmaker and voting rights activist Stacey Abrams, and Wisconsin Governor Tony Evers. Idea Fest will also feature some of the nation's leading journalists, from Maureen Dowd of the New York Times to Evan Osnos of the New Yorker, along with former Washington Post columnist Eugene Robinson and Jennifer Rubin. Tickets at
It was not a gay joke. It's the voice in that advertisement is the one and only Maggie Dawn.
Yeah, it's great. Look, I'm jealous. I mean, hey, you know what?
I gave
People want
away
her
my
to buy
inheritance
ads.
in my
More
20s
power
and
to
spent
her.
the
I
next
think
few
it's
decades
great.
studying
I just,
inequality in America. We're
I was just
more
thinking to
unequal
myself,
today
nobody's
than
asking
we
Todd
have
to do an
been
underwear
in
ad.
our country's
And for
history.
good reason, quite
Why?
frankly.
Well, a lot of it has to do with the federal tax code. Did you know if you make $100,000 working and a billionaire makes $100,000 selling stock, you will pay $9,000 more in taxes than the billionaire because of the tax code? Did you know that if you own a modest house in Richland Center and a billionaire owns 2 yachts, 3 planes, 4 Picassos, 8 racehorses, and $900 million of stock, you will pay more in wealth taxes than the billionaire because of the tax code? I think that's a bunch of baloney. I'm Chuck Collins. I'm a patriotic millionaire, and I
mean, it is a bunch of baloney, but
Let's go Brewers. You can go to the Brewers.
Wait, Todd, what?
30 seconds.
Thank you. Wherever you may lead and having fun doing it. Welcome back to the Allbaugh Show on the Civic Media Radio Network. 8 now before the hour of 3 o'clock. Coming up next hour, going to be a great hour. What's worse for you, NFL preseason games or college football non-conference blowouts? We'll ask you that question after the top of the hour. And then to give us the definitive answer, because he's played in both, our own friend, our colleague, our ongoing contributor, Brady Ewing, 3-time Big Ten champion with Wisconsin Badger football team, also spent 3 years in the NFL. Going to be a great second hour, so stick around for that. And yet this hour, going into next hour, have just over an hour and 7 minutes to text in to have the opportunity to win 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Got to stop there. 1, 2, 3, 4 tickets. 3 of them. 4 of them for free.
We got there eventually.
They are specifically for next Saturday's game, August 23rd, against the San Francisco Giants. Big night, because it's also the Bob Uecker Umbrella Night giveaway. First 25,000 fans into the stadium are going to receive those beautiful golf-size umbrellas, the great big oversized ones with Bob Uecker's kind of logo signature on it. Going to be great. You can be there courtesy of us. Simply download the Civic Media app right now. Open it up. First 10 stations are the ones that we're on. Open one of those up. Lower right-hand corner, it'll say text. Click on that. Now text the word throw, THROW, right now to the Civic Media app. Throw is the word until 4 o'clock. Throw, T as in Todd, H as in Henry, ROW, throw. Text it right now on the Civic Media app. And if you are selected, you're on your way to a Brewers game on August 23rd. Also, some breaking news for you. Couple of things, especially for listeners in WMDX land. If you're in the city of Lodi, according to Channel 3000, there is currently a power outage in the city of Lodi in the Columbia County area. Columbia County Sheriff's Office reported. Power outage is widespread. Appears that phone lines are also down for the city. Officials are working to correct this. Sheriff's Office telling people not to call dispatch reporting the power being out unless there is an actual emergency. Again, widespread power outage right now in the city of Lodi and surrounding area in Columbia County. Know that they are working on that. Also breaking news, courtesy of Channel 3000, as if we didn't need any more good Brewers news. The Milwaukee Brewers, according to the Associated Press, their rookie pitcher Jacob Mizorowski, the Miz, has been activated from the injured list after missing about 2.5 weeks with a left tibia contusion. The move potentially clears the way for the all-star right-hander to pitch in the NL Central leading Brewers series opener this afternoon as they attempt to earn a 13th straight victory. So the Miz, eligible this afternoon. Game first pitch a little after 5:35. Pregame show at 5:05 across many of these Brewer Network stations against Cincinnati.
It is so weird to me that they say activated. Like, I get it, but it sounds like you are now terminated. Like,
Well,
they're turning him on.
Yeah. I don't know. He's activated. He's ready to go. He's fired up. He's ready to go, as Obama used to say. Also ready to go. Finishing up this story from Wisp Politics, U.S. Rep. Brian Stile, Republican of Janesville, said he will continue holding in-person town halls despite the recent raucous meeting he hosted in Elkhorn. People really got in his face. Stile, who is one of 35 Republicans specifically targeted by Democrats ahead of the 2026 midterm, is just one of a handful of Republican lawmakers who have held town halls during their August recess. And again, I'm going to give Stile credit, just like Grothman, for facing real people and taking it. Doesn't mean I agree with them, but I'll give them credit for being out there. But one of the reasons Brian Stile might be saying, hey, I better sign on to some bipartisan letters, which is a good thing to help the Milwaukee area, and show up is because Mitchell Berman, an emergency room nurse this week, announced his bid for southeastern Wisconsin's 1st Congressional District. He joins iron worker Randy Bryce in seeking the Dem nomination to take on Stile. Berman said, quote, I'm running for Congress because Brian Stile isn't looking out for families like mine. He spent his career shipping jobs overseas and serving his billionaire donors. I spent mine helping people, unquote. Berman's campaign said he's spent the past decade working as a nurse at the VA. I think more people in healthcare should run. I think this is great because I'm not sure if there's a year that's going to be better for people in healthcare to run for public office because of what's happening in Washington, D.C., because of Trump's bill, the cuts to Medicaid, Medicare, healthcare. This is the year, I think, or coming up in 2026, that real professionals like Berman, Mitchell Berman, who've been an emergency room nurse in the VA, serving our American heroes, veterans. This is a great opportunity to have a real, honest, and serious discussion on healthcare. And when we have candidates who have been in and are in healthcare, I think that's great. Because pretty hard for Stile to say, oh, things in our VA aren't getting worse when one of his opponents is actually in the ER, in a VA, day in and day out. At least it should bring some truthful discussion and some checks and balances. People aren't going to be able to get away with, well, that's not really true. Well, actually, no, I work there. So things are heating up as we get closer to Labor Day. So that's a little bit what our lawmakers are doing. We'll keep track of that. Again, many thanks to the great work at the folks over at Wisp Politics for publishing that story. You can find all their work at wispolitics.com. Come on back. We're going to continue to talk a little bit more and give you a chance to win those free Brewer tickets. Brady Ewing talking football, life, and learning, and more. Don't go anywhere. It's the Allbaugh Show for a Friday. TGIF. We've made it, everybody. Sun shining skies now. Weather might get rough. Weather update next across Wisconsin on the Civic Media Radio Network.
This is 92.7 WMDX Columbus, Madison's home for real news and great conversation. A Civic Media station.
This is a special report from ABC News. I'm Michelle Franzen. A historic meeting between President Trump and Russia's President Vladimir Putin getting underway after the leaders landed at Joint Base Elmendorf in Anchorage, Alaska. Both meeting on the red carpet, smiling and shaking hands. The diplomatic push by President Trump on U.S. soil aimed at getting a ceasefire deal between Russia and Ukraine. Aboard Air Force One earlier, the president setting the tone.
I want to see a ceasefire rapidly. I don't know if it's going to be today, but I'm not going to be happy if it's not today.
ABC's Mary Bruce is in Anchorage and says Putin has rejected a ceasefire deal so far.
Vladimir Putin also setting some expectations. He's been heaping lots of praise and flattery on President Trump ahead of this meeting. He is well aware of the power of this image, something that we have not seen in many years. The Russian leader about to shake hands with the American president on American soil. No
Initial
less.
talks between the leaders will also include Secretary of State Marco Rubio and Special Envoy Steve Witkoff. This is ABC News.
As Wisconsin is summer weekends being spent on the lake, this is the Civic Media Radio Network.
For 92.7 WMDX News, I'm Savannah Tomei Olson. It's Madison Black Restaurant Week. The goal is for people to support Black-owned businesses and maybe try something new. It's sponsored by Madison's Black Chamber of Commerce. Camille Carter is the chamber's president, and she says Madison has extra reason to be proud.
Now, if you go into really larger urban areas, you might find that they're kind of promoting a Black Restaurant Week, you know, the Detroits and Chicago's, Baltimore's, but Madison, itty bitty Madison was the first.
This is the 10th year of the event.
We started with about 12 businesses, 7 restaurants and about 5 food carts. And now we have, just within this campaign, we are uplifting almost 50 restaurants, food carts, caterers.
Carter says having the Black Chamber as a resource can make a huge difference for business owners, especially at a time when DEI programs are being canceled.
It is anti-community. It takes away from the richness of really what makes an ecosystem very smart and strong. In this new mentality, we at the Chamber will not lose sight of the importance of the work. There are business owners out here, there are entrepreneurs out here that are contributing to our tax base. They are very important economic drivers to our community, and they need supportive services.
Every year there's a food taste jamboree where for $5 you can try dishes from all kinds of places. It was supposed to be last Sunday at Warner Park, but they had to cancel because of the storms. Luckily, they were able to reschedule with a new location. The jamboree is now going to be held this Sunday at the Madison Labor Temple. I'm Savannah Tomei Olson, 92.7 WMDX News.
Jordan Love back at camp. Hi, I'm Mike Clemens with sports from the Packers joint practice sessions with the Colts here in Indiana. Quarterback Jordan Love rejoined the team after having surgery on his left hand in Los Angeles Tuesday.
Had a thumb injury, torn ligament in my thumb. We did a surgery to repair it. It's UCL injury. So, yeah, just had a surgery and, on the road to recovery.
Love with a cast that covers his left arm. The Badgers training camp continues in Madison. Have they improved their D-line? Defensive coordinator Mike Tressel.
You know, I feel really good about the front four in terms of depth. I think we can really keep them fresh, which is critical. I mean, it's great to be bigger and stronger and longer and all that stuff, but if you're tired up there, you know, fatigue makes cowards of us all,
job
right?
offer.
So I'm really excited that we're going to be able to
We
keep
are
them
hiring.
fresh and there.
Join our professional
Baseball,
team.
the Brewers in
Stock
Cincinnati
photo.
tonight to take on the Reds.
Job
at Great
title,
American
remote
Ballpark.
online
Milwaukee hoping
evaluator.
to tie a franchise
Salary,
record of
$100 to
13 wins
$600
in a
per
row.
day.
With sports,
Working
I'm Mike
hours,
Clemens.
1 to 2 hours per day. Time
Connecting
freedom can
audiences,
be done at home
powering
anytime.
brands. This is Civic
so real.
Media. Learn more at civicmedia.us/advertise.
Sunny, hot, and humid today.
Honestly, this
with high
picture's
temperatures
hilarious. I think
soaring
I'm
to
gonna
the upper
save
80s, and paired with the mugginess, it'll really be feeling more like the mid-90s. And tonight, showers and thunderstorms. Heavy rainfall is possible this weekend, with rounds of thunderstorms expected. I'm meteorologist Brittany Merlot. It's 84 degrees in our
sent
studios.
you
The John and Gordy Show.
You know, we used
Cut
to have
George
John and
Coach
Gordy
Hammock at
arm
the
wrestling
bottom of the
tournaments.
Did we? I don't remember
We
that.
toured Greater Dane County.
it got a little out of hand.
Yeah.
And we decided that we had to call an end to it.
Some fistfights broke out. And Catherine says, I can take him. Okay.
Weekday mornings 6 till 8 on 92.7 WMDX and the Civic Media app.
Hey there, Wisconsin. Tom Hartman here. Democracy is not a spectator sport, so join me each and every weekday right here on Civic Media for the Tom Hartman program from 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. Covering the news of the day and sharing ways for you to get off the sidelines and get active in your community, because change starts with
30
you.
seconds.
Get involved and tune in to the Tom.
From the Civic Media World Headquarters in Madison, Wisconsin, it's the Todd Allbaugh Show. And now, pursuing truth wherever it may lead, here's your host, Todd Allbaugh.
Across Wisconsin on the Civic Media Radio Network and streaming worldwide on the Civic Media app. Good afternoon, everybody. Todd Allbaugh along with Mr. Aaron Zommers on the board. It is 6 minutes past the hour of 3 o'clock. Welcome into hour number 2 of the big program here, a TGIF edition. It is Friday, August 15th, 2025. It is a great day to be a Wisconsinite. Glad to have you along as we wrap up the week together here at the world headquarters of Civic Media in downtown Madison on State Street. Blue skies right now, Zommers. Perfect weather out there right now.
A very bright, sunshiny day.
Gonna be a bright sunshiny day.
Exactly.
Let's dial that up. I like that song. Yeah, it is. It's a beautiful. Let's see that. Can we take a look at the old street cam, the old Sam Davison street cam down there on State Street? Blue skies. There's Zommers. Oh, look at that. Look at that. Blue skies. They have blocked off the 100 block of State Street. Must be a doings, as my grandma Allbaugh used to say. Gonna be a doings tonight in downtown Madison. And of course, the farmers market in downtown. Oh, there's an actual taxi, a yellow cab. We don't have any of those left anymore. And a guy on a scooter. What do we think about all those scooters? Are you pro-scooter or anti-scooter, Zommers?
I don't have much of an opinion on scooters. I feel like
go ahead.
I think it depends. If it's somebody owns an electric scooter, good for you. If they're the ones like the bird scooters or whatever that sit around, I think it depends on how good the company or city is at actually picking them up and charging them. Because I mean, when I went to school in Appleton, partway through my time there, they got those in downtown Appleton. And for a while, they would just kind of sit around everywhere because people were being really lazy. But then they got people to be better about putting them where they're supposed to go.
I don't mind scooters, the electric scooters, like they're a good mode of transportation, but you've got to follow the rules. You understand? It's the same thing. I've come to this conclusion on electric bikes as well. I believe that electric bikes should be banned from bicycle and walking paths unless they are actually being pedaled. Because I'm walking on Lakeshore Path here on campus a couple nights ago, minding my own business, and this dude comes whizzing by me. I mean, must have been going 25, 30 miles an hour. Just, and I mean, it's a walking path.
That's the thing.
It's a bicycle path, not an electric vehicle path.
That's the thing about bikers is I shouldn't say this, but I'm going to say it. They get it in their heads that just because it's hard to go up hills and stuff, anytime they have inertia, everybody else has to move out of their way.
Yeah, I've had people cut off me on a regular bike.
Not every biker, but I have.
But don't you think electric bikers in particular, because they're no longer a bicycle at that point, but they're a motorized vehicle.
I think they carry that attitude over despite the higher speed.
I know. I'm against it. I think if you got an electric bike and you want to be on a path, fine, but then you got to pedal it. You can't be in the electric bike mode, because I'm telling you, somebody's going to get killed. My grandparents used to say that. Well, I'm telling you, somebody's going to get killed. And sadly, oftentimes they would. But let's anyway. It's a nice weekend. Hopefully. But in all seriousness, and they might have glossed over it at the top of the hour, but some very serious storms could be coming into parts of Wisconsin later on tonight. As a matter of fact, looking at the Channel 3000 live radar right now, can see, especially for our listeners on WRCE in Richland Center, already a severe thunderstorm watch. Severe thunderstorm watch, which means conditions are right for severe thunderstorms for Crawford and Grant County, which is just west and southwest of Richland County. And so a severe thunderstorm watch in effect until 7 p.m. tonight for Crawford and Grant County. It looks like those storms are going to move across southern Wisconsin, and that could affect eventually our listeners at WAUK in that part of the state. And believe me, they do not need another drop of rain over there. So for our southern Wisconsin listeners, RCE, MDX, AUK, you folks may get some severe weather later on this afternoon and into tonight. And for the rest of the state, think CFW, the TAP, perhaps Hayward, BZH, Amory, also over into the Green Bay area. You folks are more susceptible tomorrow night into Sunday and Sunday night into Monday. And some of these rains, unfortunately, and this is the hard thing for forecasters, is because you don't know exactly where these fronts are going to stall out. But somewhere, the feeling is that some of these storms are going to stall out and just deluge certain areas of the state with several inches of rain. So be aware of that. Enjoy the great weather. Get out there, grill a brat, listen to the Brewers this afternoon, starting at just after 5 o'clock on many of these stations. Mizorowski, sounds like he very well could be back on the mound for at least a couple of innings for the Crew. So have fun, but just keep an eye to the sky as well, because it's going to get stormy in some situations. Also, another free ticket Friday here for you. Your chance to win 4 free tickets, club level, cushy seats, your own area for bathrooms, air-conditioned concourse behind you, your own area for concession stands. It's for a specific game coming up next Saturday, August 23rd, against the San Francisco Giants. It's Bob Uecker Umbrella Night. Beautiful golf umbrellas being given away. Here is your chance to win right now. Download, if you don't have it, the Civic Media app, or open it up. First 10 stations are us. Click on one of them. Then where it says text, click on that. The word this hour until 4 o'clock is throw. THROW. T as in Todd. H as in Henry. ROW. Throw. Text the word throw right now on the Civic Media app, and the computer will randomly select somebody who has the correct entry, and that person is going to go to that game on August 23rd on Bob Uecker Umbrella Night. 4 free tickets on our free ticket Brewer Friday giveaway. How about that, Zombers? Can't beat it with a stick.
No, you cannot.
Coming up at the bottom of this hour, our friend, our colleague, our ongoing contributor, he's won 3 Big Ten championships as a Wisconsin Badger football player, spent 3 years in the NFL. Brady Ewing is going to be along, talking football, life, a little baseball as well. I think Brady played a little baseball in his day.
I think so.
He's one of those enormously athletically gifted people that can basically play anything.
Yeah, I feel like there are a lot of athletes like that, where they, in high school and college, they play a bunch, and then they just get drafted to one.
Yeah. We're going to ask, who I didn't know was such a gifted athlete? Well, I read an article, I've been reading a lot of the Brewers. Isaac Collins, and maybe we'll ask Brady this if he's ever met Isaac Collins, who plays for the Brewers, because apparently he and Brad Davison, who was an all-star for Wisconsin basketball, although played after Brady was there. But Isaac Collins, good friends with Brad Davison, he and his wife, Isaac Collins, are having their first child out in Denver. So Collins is on maternity leave this weekend. Best of luck to he and his wife. And also Sal Frelick, one of my favorite Brewers, also a multi-sport athlete out, I believe, in Jersey. Played like quarterback.
I did not know that.
And he played baseball at Boston College, and Frelick was also offered a scholarship to play quarterback at Boston College and chose baseball. Just like Brady was offered to go play for Bo Ryan and the Wisconsin basketball team, ultimately chose football. So we'll ask Brady, is there any sport that he's bad at? I bet there's not.
I'm sure he will be humble,
Probably, but
he's
I
going to
bet
say,
you
I'm not that great at this.
The guy to ask is his big brother, Brandon.
Yeah, that's who you
now,
should ask.
Brandon would say, Brady he's not great at this. Or he would just say, sadly, he's great at all of them.
I feel like the answer is, I can beat him at this, but that's it. Like he'd have one thing that he might be better at.
Maybe euchre. 15 now past the hour of 3 o'clock. Time once again for What's Worse. Let's go.
This or that, this or that. Then, of course, the choice is yours. You can get with this or you can get with that.
Once again to play What's Worse. Nothing to give away, no prize money involved. But it is your chance to have your voice heard on all 10 Civic Media news, sports, and talk stations. All right, timely indeed, as the great Mike Lucas is fond of saying. By the way, the big Ideas Fest is coming up in Madison, co-sponsored by this network, Civic Media, and the Capital Times. And there's been a lot of internal emails going on. Oh, who would you like to interview? Who would you like to talk to? And last year they came in, and I don't think we got anybody, did we? There was a lot of talk that we were going to, and then nobody ever showed up. But I said, so they got big people like Pritzker, the governor down in Illinois. You got Tim Walz from Minnesota coming. You got Stacey Abrams, the big politician from Georgia. And hey, we'll talk to anybody, right? We'd love to talk to anybody. But also on the list was Tom Oates and Mike Lucas, because they do a podcast for the Capital Times.
Well, so we're going to have to see about that.
My request to Luke Mathers was, give me Mike Lucas and Tom Oates. I don't care about the politicians. Give me Lucas and Oates. That'd be fantastic, wouldn't it?
Is that after Hall and Oates had their falling out?
I think it is. All right. So anyway, as Mike Lucas is fond of saying, timely indeed, because we're going to have Brady Ewing here on at the bottom of the hour. Today's category, what's worse, NFL preseason games or college football non-conference blowouts? What's worse, NFL preseason games or college football non-conference blowouts? 855-752-4842. 855-752-4842. Give us a call. Give us your opinion. You can also text us on the Civic Media app. Download it today on either the Civic Media app or on the Civic Media app. Open it up. First 10 stations ours. What's worse, NFL preseason games or college football non-conference blowouts? Give us a call, 855-752-4842, 855-752-4842. And we'll be having we're gonna make sure we get this right. Zommers have some news coming in right now. So a developing story right now, it appears in Dodge County. Developing story in Dodge County. So we'll pick up with that here in just about a couple of minutes here, up against the clock. So we'll make sure we get this right for you. But what's worse, NFL preseason games or college football non-conference blowouts? 855-752-4842. 855-752-4842. Because Wisconsin, of course, starts their non-conference season a week from last night on the 28th, a Thursday. Going to be broadcast on several of these stations on the Badger Radio Network. So it'll be interesting to see. We'll look it up. We're going to talk with Brady a little bit about the conference and the non-conference schedule. The graphic on the screen right now. Alabama 77, VPI 6. See, I mean, that's...
I would call that a blowout.
That's a blowout. Mona, listening to WAUK in Waukesha, says college football is worse. All right, college football blowouts. Robert Fetterman in Madison, listening to us as well here. So they're very good. Appreciate that, Robert. Tony on YouTube says non-conference are worse by a mile. The preseason game score doesn't matter, but you get to see guys get their shot, and they all are giving it for the most part. Non-conference games are very imbalanced in talent levels. That's true. There's also a big payout for some of those universities as well. All right, do a little bit more. What's worse? Brady Ewing coming at the bottom of the hour, and some breaking news out of Dodge County. We'll have details after that. After this, stay tuned. You're listening to the Todd Allbaugh Show on the Civic Media Radio Network.
And here you're listening to 92.7 WMDX.
Shop Furlough Mattresses Mega Mattress Sale. Get additional savings on top of our factory direct pricing. That's double the savings on your new mattress. Plus, save even more when you upgrade to an adjustable base. At Furlough, all of our mattresses are locally crafted and backed by our lifetime comfort guarantee. So hurry in and get savings on top of savings during Furlough's Mega Mattress Sale. Wake up. Sleep better. Furlough.
Get ready, Madison. El Sazon Jarocho is now open on Plaza Drive. 5-star authentic Mexican cuisine. Fresh, homemade,
All right, all I got is a couple of lines on KOW. What was the other source?
Tacos I've ever had in my life. El Sazon Jarocho. You won't leave hungry, just happy.
Finding
They're
great
both
candidates to
KOW.
hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack, but not with
So if there's just a couple
ZipRecruiter.
lines, I guess that's all there is right now.
Technology actively finds and invites qualified candidates to apply to your job. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you the needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
I'm Angela Lang, filling in for Dan Schaefer. Let's recombobulate. This week, Wisconsin Republican lawmakers called on Mayor Cavalier Johnson to urge Police Chief Jeffrey Norman to, quote, temporarily reorganize MPD to allow for maximum amount of available sworn officers to be assigned to our streets. The mayor's office pushed back and said, quote, we thank the state legislature for offering their opinions on police staffing. What they neglect to acknowledge is that crime in Milwaukee is down considerably when compared to the same time as last year. Mayor Johnson cited double-digit year-to-date decreases in robberies, arsons, aggravated assaults, vehicle thefts, carjackings, and non-fatal shootings. While Milwaukee certainly has its challenges, is this another dog whistle? It is also worth noting that the Milwaukee Police Association is an ongoing...
Network. It's now 22 minutes past the hour of 3 o'clock. Glad to have you along on this Friday, August 15th, 2025. We'll get back to our regular show in a minute. But first of all, I wanted to bring you some breaking news at this time. This is courtesy of WKOW, the ABC affiliate, Channel 27 here in Madison. Headline, train derailment reported in Dodge County. Emergency personnel are responding to a report of a train derailment in Dodge County. 27 News viewers reported a train derailment in the village of Reeseville this afternoon near Maiden Lane. Dodge County Sheriff Dale Schmidt confirmed he was responding to the scene, but could not provide further details. Historical note, in 2023, a train with 29 cars derailed in Reeseville. No one was hurt in that incident. This is a developing story, again, according to WKOW Television, WKOW.com, the ABC affiliate here in Madison. Emergency personnel responding to a report of a train derailment in Dodge County. 27 News viewers, that is, reported a train derailment in the village of Reeseville this afternoon near Maiden Lane. So if you're anywhere near Reeseville listening to us this afternoon, especially around Maiden Lane, stay clear of that area. We know in situations like this, the last thing that first responders and law enforcement need to deal with are gawkers. So please stay away from Reeseville, especially near Maiden Lane. Dodge County Sheriff Dale Schmidt confirming he was responding to the scene, but could not provide further details. And again, this could be the same general area where a couple of years ago in Reeseville, there was a derailment of 29 rail cars There was no one hurt severely in that incident. We'll continue to monitor this and bring you further developments should they come to us in the next half an hour or so, and certainly continue to listen to Civic Media News as our news team will continue to follow this. But again, please stay clear of Reeseville in Dodge County, especially near the area of Maiden Lane. Looks like there is a train derailment at this hour. No other further information on how severe, how many cars, if anyone is injured. We'll continue to monitor that. 25 minutes now past the hour of 3 o'clock here on a Friday, August 15th, 2025. Continue on for now, and unless we get more information on this breaking news in Dodge County, with the much, much, much lighter, less important discussion of the day this half hour. What's worse, NFL preseason games or college football non-conference blowouts? NFL preseason games or college football non-conference blowouts? 855-752-4842, 855-752-4842, Mr. Summers.
And for those people who are not as invested in sports, I feel like they might hear this as a big old word jumble. So correct me if I'm wrong.
Yeah.
But NFL preseason games are basically more or less part of training in that the scores don't actually count towards the team's standings.
The wins and losses don't count towards going, winning your division or going to the Super Bowl. Yeah.
Right.
They're in the playoffs. Yeah.
So you could say, many people would disagree, but you could say it's a pointless game in terms of the score.
Sure, I mean, to a degree. I mean, the guys, we'll ask Brady. I don't think the guys played think it's necessarily pointless.
I agree. I'm just saying what people might say are the things
but
that are bad
what
about
people
it.
are saying. You're saying a lot of people are saying.
A lot of people are saying. Versus college football non-conference blowouts. That's where there are weird money deals where teams will play other teams that are way worse than them outside of their league just to stomp on them and make money.
I think that's a bit of a harsh take on it, but
I think
maybe
which one I think is worse.
Well, Brady's been in both, so we'll ask him here very shortly, because that hasn't happened in a while. But I can remember back in the day going to some of Brady's games. We'll ask him. The Badgers were like 70-10. I mean, it wasn't even close. And the thing was that, Bucky Badger, he does push-ups for every, touch or every point scored.
So at least there's that.
They had to go through like a couple of different Buckies. They had to go in and change out Buckies during the game because the Badgers were scoring so many touchdowns. Now, that doesn't happen too much anymore. But yes, I mean, what happens is, because, and this is the serious point of the discussion maybe, is that in order to get to the postseason now in college football, a lot of this is on performance. A lot of it is on simply how many wins you get. So you play the cupcakes, as they're called, and the SEC does this in the South. They do it in the middle of the season, and some coaches really don't like it. But you play these cupcake games because you're pretty much assured of a win, but the team coming in gets paid whatever, $1 million or something like that. Their program gets that for traveling and getting to be knocked around a little bit. But it gives your guys, if you're the better team, it gives you somebody to beat up on other than your own players. And you kind of, and occasionally, like Western Michigan, they come in their Appalachian State and they win these things. They say, look, Tony Zimmerman, Appalachian State, D2 at the time, beat number 2 Michigan in one of the greatest upsets of all time. So there's always the possibility of that.
Those moments are very cool. I still just think, to me, if I were on a team that was paying $1 million to another school so that we could beat them up and most likely win, I would feel awful.
Well,
like, hey kid, here's $5. I'm going to kick you in the face.
Okay, but all right, but come on. But if you're at a smaller school and you don't have a huge stadium and you don't play in front of a big crowd, again, we can ask Brady. But I would think from a player perspective, it's just like when the Badgers played LSU at Lambeau Field. The reality is most guys playing college football, they're not going to get drafted. They're never going to play in an NFL stadium in a real game. So how cool is that to say, hey, I got to go play at Lambeau Field in a real game?
That's true.
I would think for some of these smaller division schools, how cool is it to come in and play in front of 80,000 fans in Camp Randall and do the jump around? And you know what? Hey, that's why they play the game. You've always got a shot because the bigger team might not take you seriously. They might be hungover. You don't know.
And I'm glad I shared my thoughts because I didn't think of that.
And you come out with a win. But no, that's a good argument, not argument, a good discussion we have. We'll continue it on the other side with an actual football player that's not Todd and not Zommers, but Brady Ewing. He's up next here on the Allbaugh Show for a Friday on the Civic Media Radio Network. We're already into it. We're not into it, and we're already into it. Oh, there he is. Look at that.
Let me on it. I'm over here like, bring me in early here.
It's like, these idiots need to shut up and let an actual football player.
The thing is, I suppose I should acknowledge this whenever I say things like that on the radio. I have no idea what I'm talking about.
I would say, like, from a fan perspective, that's fun.
Yeah.
You represent the non, hardened sports fan.
That's right. Yeah,
How are you,
honestly, I'm
Brady?
torn on it. I'm good. How are you doing?
Better now that you're here. We're always happier when you're here.
It's a little. So what's going on? You were a little somber when I first jumped on in regards to train derailment or something?
Yeah, I mean that. If I get more news, we'll have to step away from the fun and games. We don't know it. It's literally just happened. So all I know is there was a reported train derailment in Dodge County. We don't know how bad. We don't know how many cars. We have no idea.
They updated the story 5 minutes ago and have not changed anything on it.
All right, thanks.
I think basically just to show us they are still looking at it.
Yeah. So we'll see. Hopefully everybody's okay and it's not too severe.
I'll shoot a message if they change anything.
All right, thank you.
How's my audio? This is the first trial run with the microphone.
It sounds really good.
A lot better than the Beats headphones, Bluetooth.
Yeah, it's like legit. You're set to go.
Of course, then you cut out right when that happened.
Oh, sorry. It
I clicked
sounds
something.
legit.
Is it working better now?
I jinxed myself. I can't hear you guys.
Hold
now.
on.
We can
I'll
hear
switch
you.
That.
Hang on.
What about
hang
now?
on.
Can you hear us again? Hello, check 1 2.
Now we can't hear you.
Well, he's not talking right now.
He was talking. It's like a Brady. Can you hear us? What'd you do, Albert?
I turned off echo cancellation because he's wearing headphones. Which shouldn't affect what he hears.
Right.
It should just make him sound a little crisper for us.
Build with pride before the shamrock is applied.
But then I turned it back on. So
he'll be back.
Up with Pam at MidwestFarmReport.com and on Facebook and Instagram.
I'm Kylie Allen for the Midwest Farm Report, taking a look at the closing markets. From Chicago, cash corn closed up 8 3/4 at $3.83 3/4. New crop corn closed up 8 at $4.05.
Let's not start with the graphic. You can put it back up when we talk about it. Let's not start with it, please.
New crop
sounds good.
Closed
Thank you.
up 14 at 10.42.5. September wheat closed up 3 at 5.06.5. Class 3 September milk contracts closed up 24 cents at 18.38. In October, Class 3 milk closed up 20 at 18.07. 40-pound block cheese closed down a quarter at 177.5. And AA butter closed up 2 at 2.30. For the latest Wisconsin ag news, visit our website, MidwestFarmReport.com, and while you're there, sign up for our e-newsletter. For the Midwest Farm Report, I'm Kylie Allen.
Come work with us. Civic Media has a number of great jobs across the state.
Looks
Open
like
now
Brady
at
is currently connecting.
civicmedia.us/careers.
Sunny, hot, and humid today. High temperatures soaring to the upper 80s and paired with the mugginess. It'll really be feeling more like the mid-90s. And tonight, showers and thunderstorms. Heavy rainfall is possible this weekend, with rounds of thunderstorms expected. I'm meteorologist Brittany Merlot. Currently,
Yeah, I didn't
it's
think about
86.
the experience of playing at bigger stadiums, bigger crowds. That is a good point.
But
I didn't think of that.
maybe he'll say no.
I don't know. We'll see. Brady, if you can hear us, it says devices not connected.
I did, John. I also heard to
Oh, he popped back up.
Dane County Humane
Well,
Society will offer
We'll be
reduced
fine.
adoption
We got
Yeah.
stuff to talk about. I'll update the train derailment. Give the word. Wizarowski, Brewers.
Including here in Dane County, are facing unprecedented challenges with slower adoptions, high intake of strays and surrendered pets, and limited resources. Shelters are working harder than ever to care for these animals.
animals. DCHS is proud to serve thousands of animals each year, not just through adoption, but also by reuniting lost pets with their families and offering safety net programs.
About 30
for
seconds.
struggling
Can you hear me?
guardians.
Now we can hear you.
Can you hear us?
I can now. I had to get on my phone here.
Oh, that's
Weird.
all right.
I totally jinxed myself, I guess.
Well, it's working now, so
It's fine.
all right, 10 seconds.
To this day, when I hear that song, I see you standing there on that lawn. Discount shades, store-bought tan, flip-flops and cut-off jeans. Somewhere between that setting sun, I'm on fire, I'm born to run. You looked at me and I was done, but we were just getting started. I was singing
Welcome back to the Todd
you,
Allbaugh Show
singing to
across
me. I was
Wisconsin
so
on the Civic Media Radio
right.
Network. 35 minutes now past the hour of 3 o'clock on a Friday, TGIF, August 15th, 2025. When you hear that song, means that the one, the only, our friend, our colleague, our ongoing contributor, the three-time Big Ten champion with Wisconsin Badger football team, spent 3 years in the NFL, Mr. Brady Ewing is right around the corner, and indeed he is, joining us from the beautiful Southwest Wisconsin in Richland Center. Brady, how the heck are you?
Doing awesome, Todd. How are you doing today?
Doing great. A quick little business here before we get into actually talking hard sports really quickly from our news department. We're going to continue to follow this half hour and into the rest of the afternoon from WKOW.com, the ABC affiliate here in Madison. They are reporting that emergency personnel are responding to a report of a train derailment in Dodge County. Viewers are reporting the derailment happened in the village of Reeseville near Maiden Lane. So if you are in Dodge County in Reeseville, please stay away from the area near Maiden Lane. A possible train derailment will continue to follow that for you throughout the afternoon. Also, a severe thunderstorm watch in effect for listeners, in particular WRCE in Richland Center. Severe thunderstorm watch for Crawford and Grant County until 7 p.m. Those storms moving in from Iowa. Some of them may contain heavy rains as we're going to move through Madison and over into Waukesha, where heaven knows they don't need another drop of rain over there. And also, we're right in the middle of Free Ticket Friday. Your chance to win 4 tickets to a Brewers game on Bob Uecker Umbrella Night on August 23rd. Go to the Civic Media app right now and text the word THROW, THROW, throw right now on the Civic Media app, because you could win, if you are selected by the computer, 4 tickets for August 23rd, Bob Uecker Umbrella Night. It is for the August 23rd. Text the word THROW, THROW. Brady, late breaking news as well this afternoon. The Miz, Jacob Mizorowski, coming off the IL, going to be available for Murph on the mound tonight in Cincinnati. That game gets underway just after 5:30. How about that?
Awesome. I mean, just to see the run, I don't follow it as closely as you do. I am looking forward to that game that we're planning to go to, but
yeah,
it's just fun to hear the energy around the state. Everybody I'm talking to for work around the communities talking about the Brewers and what's going on, what's the latest, and to get a key part of the team back at this point in the season with where they're at, you think it could only help them.
Are the boys? Yeah, you have 4 boys. They're most of them baseball. Are they into the Brewers? Are they excited about the season so far?
They are. Yeah, we don't watch a ton of games, but they're always asking about it. And actually my sister's son, Brooklyn's son, Bruin, is just all about the Brewers, or really in sport. Yeah, and he's really good at scores. So he loves talking about the scores and asking what the score is, and makes for an entertaining time when we're all together.
I think the story of the Brewers, talk a little bit about this, because we've heard, we played cuts over the last few days from Sal Frelick, also played cuts from Brandon Woodruff, from Kristen Yelich. She had a great player profile in The Athletic this week, talking about just this locker room atmosphere, this friendship that I saw a thing from who's the hot new prospect that's going to be in the Timber Rattlers this weekend? Now I can't say his name. Ash something or other. Anyway, he said he signed his contract in Milwaukee, and Bryce Terang pulled him aside and said, "Look, here's all I got for you. I don't care if you're the best player or the worst player. Doesn't matter. Just come into this organization and be a good teammate. And thank you, Zombers. Andrew Fisher is the kid they had just drafted, who's going to play for the Timber Rattlers in Appleton this weekend. Brady, as a guy who spent a lot of time in college and pro locker rooms, how important is that attitude to be a winning program?
It's huge. I mean, to have a team that is able to come together with all of the different pieces of the puzzle, and we've talked about it in the past in regards to the transfer portal and the college game now too. I think it's just as important because there's so many moving pieces and people coming from different programs and different backgrounds and different experiences. It's that much more important to be able to have a team atmosphere and a culture that can overrule and overpower some of that history that guys might be bringing into the program. So in professional sports, I think that's always been important. Everyone's talented. You know, the schemes and the different things that the coaching staff puts you in make a big difference, but also just that team chemistry and the way that you come together, mold together is huge at that level, along with college now more than ever.
Yeah, absolutely. We'll see the Brewers again on several of these stations across this network. Pre-game 5:05, first pitch against the Reds, trying to make it 13 in a row tonight at 5:30, and eligible. Free, there's no George Webb in Southwest Wisconsin, but you could load up the kids and take them down. Free George Webb burgers in Milwaukee next Wednesday, or get a free voucher. Yeah.
Hey, I'd take that. I don't think I've ever been to George Webb. Have you?
Years ago, when I was down because they're only in Southeast Wisconsin, pretty much. Like the closest one to us is like a Economawalk or something like that. Yeah,
Economawalk.
Yeah. So, but I hear they're good.
Have to add that to the bucket list.
Absolutely. All right, let's get your answer because Zommers and I were going back and forth on today's What's Worse. What's worse, NFL preseason games or college football non-conference blowouts? Brady, you've been a part of both. What's worse?
I was torn. So I was sitting here listening to you guys go back and forth, waiting to get on air here. And honestly, I was bouncing back and forth. I think I've come to college football non-conference games being worse only because, as you look at the NFL and the preseason games, those are the times when those guys are auditioning. And I was trying to audition for a roster spot, whether for the team that you're on at that time or for the other teams that are going to watch that film and potentially try to pick you up, trade for you, or if you do get released, bring you on their practice squad, whatever the situation might be. So I think honestly, I'm torn. Like I said, I would rather say neither of them because I think each of them served their purpose as a player, but would probably lean towards the NFL preseason games being more important. And those blowout games, while they are fun as a player in college, because you get to try different things and you get to see some of the young guys or people that typically don't play get in towards those games. You can build confidence early in the season. Yeah, they're fun too, but I'd say those are worse.
Heather, watching up in beautiful Eau Claire, little sister Heather on Facebook says, NFL is worse. Pointless besides training purposes. Going to some of those Badger games was fun when you're on the winning side. Ha.
Yeah, that's the challenge. And like Zomer said, a lot of these big programs are paying these smaller programs, millions plus dollars to come into their stadium and play them. But they really have nothing to lose. Those players, like you said, Todd, are excited to be in Camp Randall or excited to be at the big house, wherever they're playing. And, they're playing with a chip on their shoulder. A lot of those guys wanted to be at, top programs in the country or Big Ten programs. And so they're coming in with a chip on their shoulder, ready to compete, pulling out all the stops, pulling out the trick plays. And it really can lead to some matchup challenges and some challenging games. I think of Cal Poly when I was in college. They had smaller D linemen. They were doing a ton of twisting, a ton of stunting, and our offense just couldn't get going. We ended up winning that game thanks to some of their missed field goal attempts. But man, we had some blowouts on that end of the spectrum, but we also had some too close for comfort ones.
And that's a good point. So I'm glad we got to have your perspective on this because I didn't think about all that.
A real player perspective. Neither Zommers or I have that. So that's why it's great to have Brady along. Talking to Brady Ewing, 3-time Big Ten champion with Wisconsin Badgers, captain of the team his senior year, co-captain, and then spent 3 years in the NFL. It's 44 minutes past the hour of 3 o'clock. Badgers, Brady, get underway. I can't believe it. 2 weeks from last night. on a Thursday, August 28th at 8 p.m. in Camp Randall, Miami of Ohio. The tough opponent coming in, followed by Middle Tennessee, followed by Alabama, the real Alabama. So those are your first three games. How do you feel? We don't need to go through the entire schedule today, but look, I mean, when we were out at Joe Thomas's place, and many thanks again to Joe Thomas for letting us hang out with him, and many thanks to you for joining us that day. You and Joe Thomas, as both former Badgers and former NFL players, are taking the over-under right now still for Badger wins, 5.5. You're taking the over. I took the under. Are you still staying with the over?
I am. I mean, these are those non-conference games, these first two, where they should be wins in the column for the Badgers. And if they come out and do what they can do with the talent they have, they should be wins. Now, I'm hopeful they have some of those assertive wins. They can get a lot of their depth playing time and able to just get some momentum going into that Alabama game. We know that's going to be a difficult one. And then basically every week thereafter. So I'm hopeful. I like the change in culture like we had talked about with Joe. The mindset of running the ball, being physical. I think it's great to see that. Haven't been to a practice, but just seeing that on social media and different things, it's been nice to see that flip.
Let's talk about culture a little bit. Former Badger coach, Coach Thomas Hammock, was he running back coach? Was he there when you were there?
He was. He came in my junior year at Wisconsin, I believe.
All right, so you played under Coach Hammock. Now he, of course, the head coach at NIU, which had a big non-conference win of their own last year. But he was after one of the practices this week, he got talking about what this sport means to him. Let's hear from a Coach Hammock from NIU.
I told our team the other day, we lost all these guys. Let's see who plays. So it's all good when people put it on Twitter, hey, all glory to God, I'm going on the transfer portal. Let's see if they play. How many of those guys going to play or travel or get snaps? I was going to tweet something the other day, a picture of me, and say, you know what? I enjoyed my college experience. I didn't get one dime, but the lessons I learned was more valuable than any money you can ever pay me. And I appreciate that because that is long term. People are losing the fact that this is short term. I coached in the National Football League for 5 years. 5 years, right? Don't lose focus of what the long term. Get your degree, learn valuable lessons that's going to help you in the long term of your life. That's the whole purpose. This is a transition from being a kid to a grown-up. And I hope people don't lose focus of that. Everybody's talking about everything else besides what is the most important thing for going to college. Because if you're going to college to go get a couple dollars, you might as well go get a job. This is too hard to go get a couple dollars. Learn the lessons that you need to learn to be successful in life for the next 40 to 50 years of your life. I would do it again for free, because of the things I learned. That's why I'm standing here today, because of what I learned in college. Not because of how much somebody gave me. That's what I would tell people. And parents, they need to learn that lesson too. Stop trying to live through your kids. Go teach your kids what are the things they need to learn to be successful. That's what I'm telling my kids. I don't care about no NIL, no revenue share. I can care less. You need to learn things in college to get you prepared for life, to be a father, a husband, to work, everything else. Those are the most important things. That's what people are missing, in my opinion.
Just his opinion. Former Badger coach Thomas Hammock, now the head coach at NIU. Brady, only 30 seconds here. We'll pick it up. But wow, I would run through a brick wall for that guy.
Honestly, it took me back to the meeting room with Coach Hammock there, and a lot of stuff there to talk about. So I'm excited to break it down.
We'll come back, break it all down, talk more with Brady Ewing, 3-time Big Ten champion, 3 years in the NFL, and all-around great guy. Don't go anywhere. It's the Allbaugh Show across Wisconsin on the Civic Media Radio Network.
As Wisconsin is saying the word.
I saw that. I just got chills the first time I saw it online. I'm like, that's amazing.
How's my audio?
It's cutting pretty bad all of a sudden.
I don't know what happened. It was fine, but can you hear us?
here for the next segment.
Didn't hear what you said. I heard like garble. Mm-mm.
It's still cutting.
I can hear you. I heard you say it. Can you hear me? But it's really choppy.
Get off.
All right, that's fine. I like that. I like that. We should have taken a screenshot of Brady going.
We still could because it's still there.
That was gone. That was really funny.
Board of Elections realized in 2023 that unclear.
Can you hear me better now?
There
Yes.
you go.
Hey, Todd.
What?
It's getting fuzzy on my end.
Oh no.
Can you hear me okay?
Say it one more time.
Can you hear me okay?
Yeah, it's kind of it's all right. It seems like when you talk louder, it's better.
How about now?
Yeah, I think that works.
Shoot. Sorry about that. I don't know what's going on.
That's all good. We'll try it. If we can't hear you, I'll just say Brady's going to work on his technical difficulties. Yeah.
Just cut me off. Brady, come on, man. What's going on here?
That's so weird that seems to happen
know.
after about like 15, 20 minutes.
That's
I know. And it's happened on some podcasts too that I've been on where it starts to get fuzzy. And that's why I was like, okay, I'm finally going to get a microphone and just try to get into the computer.
It did sound great.
Yeah, it was fine when you first started. So I don't know if it's some connection to your computer or your internet. I have no idea. I'm not smart enough to know those things.
I'll have to troubleshoot it.
All right.
All right. 30 seconds.
Put your kids on it. They'll figure it out just like that.
They are good at it.
I know. I have a problem. Like I asked my nieces. I mean, they're a little older, but they're like, "Oh, Uncle Todd, did you do this, this, and this?" Oh, okay.
All right. Here we go.
All right. Thanks. Welcome back to the Todd Allbaugh Show on the Civic Media Radio Network. It is 8 minutes before the hour of 4 o'clock on the top of the hour. ABC, CBS News, whichever station you're listening to. A check of weather. Don't forget some rocky weather for WRCE listeners. South of Richland Center, southwest in Crawford and Grant County. A severe thunderstorm watch until 7 p.m. Those storms are probably going to move right straight across southern Wisconsin. MDX listeners in Madison, this is going to affect you at one point. And then also WAUK listeners in Waukesha. Looks like some of these storms could reach that area. And of course, our listeners there do not need another drop of rain. Keep an eye to the sky over the weekend, folks. Some places could get really heavy rains, could be dangerous at points over the weekend. So just be aware of that. Mike Clemens, our great sports reporter, in with preseason news on football out of Green Bay. Jordan Love continues to recover after getting that left thumb surgery. It'll be Malik Willis over the weekend. And of course, the Brewers going for win number 13 tonight or this afternoon against Cincinnati. Could be the Miz on the mound. He's been reactivated. Pregame show at 5:05, first pitch after 5:35 on many of these stations. And you can win 4 free tickets to a Brewers game on August 23rd. It is Bob Uecker Umbrella Night. Don't want to miss it. Simply text the word throw right now on the Civic Media app. The word is throw, THROW, throw. Text it right now on the Civic Media app. Somebody's going to win 4 free tickets to the Brewers game. Brady Ewing, 3-time Big Ten champion with Wisconsin Badger football team, co-captain of the team his senior year, and then spent 3 years in the NFL. Joins us via StreamYard from Richland Center. Brady, before that break, great cut, great speech. Well, impromptu at a podium after one of the practices this week. Coach Hamlock used to be one of the running backs coaches, helped coach Brady for part of his time at Wisconsin, and now has been the head coach at NIU, Northern Illinois University, and talking about what NIL, don't worry about that, he says. Think about the experience you get as a player, what you take away with it. Boy, the first time I saw that online, Brady, I got goosebumps.
Yeah, I did too. Like I said, it took me back to the meeting room and having Coach Hammock as a coach, because he really helped bridge the gap between the life lessons you learn on the football field, the challenges, the adversity you face, the great things that happen, and really helps bridge the gap to what does that actually mean? Why does that actually matter as you go forward in life? And I think to hear him talk about that in today's day and age with NIL, transfer portal, all of that stuff, was eye-opening, because it's a totally different mindset, literally 180 from what a lot of these young athletes, I believe, are out there chasing now. They're chasing the dollar, much like, they're a professional athlete, and it seems like education has taken a total backseat, other than what they're going to learn and the bumps and bruises through the transferring and through, chasing the almighty dollar. So it was just refreshing to hear that perspective, and I'm hopeful that with all the airtime it's getting and the conversation it's getting, hopefully helps bring some of that to light and change the mindset of some people.
Voice of the Badgers, I know you know him, Matt LePay, great guy, tweeted out, he retweeted that Coach Hammock speech there, and he says, worth remembering that Coach Hammock is a 2-time All-American academic at NIU, got a bachelor's degree in marketing at NIU, and then a master's degree at UW-Madison. So this is a guy who put his money or his work where his mouth is and got it done in the classroom as well. So he's not just saying that, he did it.
Yeah, I mean, the classroom is huge, but I think to also, that's why you're at college, absolutely. But when you look at on the field, the ups and downs that come from, look at my own situation as a walk-on. Like, nothing was promised, nothing was given, but you invested in the process and the long-term vision to go, to learn, to grow, to try to learn from other people that were ahead of you, knowing that it was going to take 2, 3, 4 years. Maybe you never got an opportunity to step on the field, but to be a part of something bigger than yourself and to go and attempt to do it, you learn more from that than you do from transferring around and getting, $300,000, $400,000, $500,000, whatever some of these kids are getting. That's great. Money's awesome. I mean, that's cool, right. But the lessons you can learn to help you long-term are much bigger.
And as we heard, over the summer from your former teammate, Monte Ball, who was in Madison this summer for that great speech that he gave, great evening at Monte Ball, and our friend Kristen Bry. I mean, he said flat out, if I had the NIL money then with my challenges I was going through in life that these kids are having now at 18, 19, 20, I would have blown through that overnight and would have never made anything of myself. So I think there's got to be some sort of, I don't know, coaching off the field. Like how do you deal as a 19-year-old making $1 million?
Yeah, it's crazy. I mean, to put yourself in that situation at that point in your life, everyone would handle that a little bit differently. But there should be a framework set up to help give them resources, not only them, but the people around them, their loved ones, people from their hometown. I mean, it creates all of these different things that come when money is there, whether that's when you get to the point of being a professional athlete or not. But to have that at 17, 18-year-old is really tough.
Yeah, absolutely. Let's go to the phone lines very quickly. Jack, if you can get it in 30 seconds, you had a quick comment or a question. Jack and Merrimack. Jack, go ahead.
This is about the what's worse. I think they're both good. The professional guys have to have the preseason stuff to shake out. this stuff that they need to learn before the real season. And I was kind of a mediocre college athlete and competed against some really, really tough athletes. What it did was it taught me a lot of things about what you have to learn to be good. 5 years after graduating, I set a national meet record in my event.
Hey, congrats, Jack. I love it. Great positive way to end the show. Appreciate it, Jack. Many thanks to Brady Ewing, 3-time Big Ten champion, and also 3 years in the NFL. Thanks to Zommers as well. Text the word THROW, THROW, right now on the Civic Media app. You got 40 seconds or 30 to do it. We'll see you on Monday. Have a great weekend. Whatever you're fighting for, whatever you believe in, keep banging your drum. Do not give up. Take care.
This is not.
Thanks, everybody.
All right. Thanks, everybody. Have a great weekend. Bye-bye.